Here we are with our latest construction update for Epic Universe, a brand new theme park set to open in 2025. It's making some amazing progress. It's hard to keep up with all the construction. Epic Universe is located just 2 miles south of Universal's other theme parks in Orlando. There's so much to cover in this update. We've got trees, new structures, finished statues, and so much more. This new theme park will include a How to Train Your Dragon Land, the Wizarding World, Dark Universe, and Super Nintendo World. Today we'll start with one of the most anticipated lands, the Dark Universe. When you build a land or a ride in a theme park, you want it to be based on something timeless, and Universal Classic Monsters is just that, timeless. I'm amazed they haven't created a ride or land before now, but I, along with many others, are really excited that Universal Classic Monsters will be getting their own land. So far the portal to this land looks the most unique. Right now, all the other portals are looking very basic, but the portal into the Dark Universe has a very intricate design. Tree roots and rock work can be seen as they continue to work on this portal. As we first enter the land, there is a newly added metal frame which will eventually receive some theming to make it look like a broken wall or archway as you enter the village. But before we get into the village, I wanted to look at the concrete form you can see as you exit the portal into the land. I don't know what it will be yet, but it could be an old creepy tree, or maybe it's a well. If it is, it could look like the one from Van Helsing. You see it in the scene when the vampires attack the village. The well had a platform next to it. The roof on the portal entrance has a similar aesthetic to the buildings in Van Helsing. The roof is skinny and pointed at the end. There's a picture of the village in Van Helsing. See how it looks similar? Some of the roofs in the village point out a little. I don't know, but what do you think? Do you think the village will look more like the village in Van Helsing, or more like the look of the classic Frankenstein village set in Switzerland? Another recent development is a wall to enclose the land. There's a gap in the wall which might be where the exit of the land will be. More scaffolding has been added to the retail shop on the right. They are working on theming the outside. Plus, some theming elements for the exterior structures can be seen off to the side. The village will have shops, restaurants, and 2 rides. The main attraction will be set in a manor. We don't know much about the ride, but it could be a Universal Monster version of a Haunted Mansion. It will be interesting to see how it turns out. We believe it will be a Kuka Arm attraction based on some of the track that was laying nearby some time ago. Another attraction that uses a Kuka Arm ride system is the Forbidden Journey ride at Islands of Adventure. They recently added this yellow barrier to the ramp that leads to the entrance of the manor attraction. Concrete will be poured here. Next to the restaurant in the land, there's some new metal framing that has been added. The other attraction in the land is a family-friendly roller coaster, most likely called Curse of the Werewolf. Wood has been added to the barn-style roof of the show building. It will be interesting to see how they will theme the inside of the show building. Will it be like Hagrid's where there's an animatronic inside? At the back of that attraction is the load and unload area. At the number 2, there's more framing that's been added over the tracks. At 3 and 4 are some new concrete forms off to the side of the roller coaster. Now let's take a look at the central hub. The dome attraction, believed to be named Constellation Carousel, is seeing some work on the smaller dome. Temporary scaffolding is being placed in the center, just like the bigger dome once had. From the sky, this thing looks small, but if you take a look at the size of the workers compared to the scaffolding and the pole on the outer edge, even this smaller dome looks to be huge. Ribs for the outer edge can be seen off to the side in preparation to be placed around the smaller dome. Universal filed a patent for a ride system that looks like it's for this attraction, so it could be a carousel attraction, which makes sense when you consider the name of the attraction is Constellation Carousel. When it's all done, it will be surrounded by water and have a stained glass look to it. Over next to Super Nintendo World, the restaurant continues to see work around it. Here you can see the stairs that go down into the underground kitchen, which has been completely covered now. Dining will be at the lower level, overlooking the water and the central hub attraction. This restaurant looks like it'll be very fancy. Now let's go over to the Mushroom Kingdom. To enter the land, we'll go through a green portal and up the escalators where we come out of Princess Peach's castle. The Mushroom Kingdom will be a multi-level land with a lot of kinetic energy. Some new pavement has been placed in front of Princess Peach's castle. You can see the contrast between the darker and lighter concrete. Eventually, this will be a very bright and colorful floor. Work continues on the exterior of Mount Beanpole and Yoshi's Adventure. Work is being done to cover over the framing and prepare it for theming to go around the exit and entrance of Yoshi's Ride. On top of the buildings, we can see a bunch of siding to prepare for all the mini green hills that will help to bring this land to life. Another new element are the steel frames that have been added to the wall next to where the bathrooms will be. Out the back of the Mushroom Kingdom is the Donkey Kong Minecart coaster. This will be a very unique coaster. This ride has 2 tracks. A fake track has been built with the real track being sideways. This will give the illusion that the car is hopping over the broken track. We can see several of those moments here. Part of the ride will also skim above the water to make a splash. At the Donkey Kong coaster, frames have been added on the building off to the side. This will be for future theming. In the last video, we could see the round form being worked on, and now all the concrete has been poured. If we look at the model, there is a hut in this location. This could be where a meet and greet will be. Now let's go over to the Wizarding World with its stone brick portal. After we go through the portal, the entrance to the land has a big arch that's made to look like the Porte Saint-Denis in Paris. We can see there's a lot more scaffolding over it now than the last time we saw it. This land has some really tall buildings similar to Diagon Alley at Universal Studios Florida, which makes sense because this will be themed to Place Cachée from the Fantastic Beasts film. Place Cachée means hidden place, and is Paris's version of Diagon Alley. It's where witches and wizards go to do their shopping in Paris. We don't know the actual name of the land, but since this is themed to Place Cachée, it makes sense that it might just be called that. This land will have a theater attraction, with rumors that it will be based on the circus from the film. Last month, a hole could be seen in the street near where the tent will be placed for the circus entrance. Here we can see a pole that's been placed recently where the tent will be. It's meant to look small from the outside, with the inside being much bigger. The main attraction of this land is rumored to be the British Ministry of Magic. It's inside the building, so we can't see any of the work so far. It's believed we will travel through a Floo network to get there, just like in the movies. The rumor is that it's an elevator-style attraction. Work is being done to close off this area here. I believe this will be a courtyard like we see in the movie. Behind the wall is where a future expansion pad will be. It looks like a doorway is being built for future access to the expansion pad. Now over to the dual racing coaster, believed to be called Starfall Racers. This is a massive roller coaster, definitely not a family coaster. The track has been completed for this ride. The roof of the load area looks almost complete with a few more still frames needed. A little forest has appeared at this roller coaster. Greenery can be seen on both ends of the attraction. 2 years away from being open, and we are already seeing landscaping. Next to a dual coaster is How to Train Your Dragon: The Isle of Berk. This looks to be the biggest land. It will have 3 rides, a theater attraction, and a play area for kids. As we enter through the portal, 2 giant statues can be seen. All the scaffolding has come down, so we can get a really good look at them now. Behind the statues, work continues on the Viking ships. We can now see the front of the boat with a sculpted dragon on it. This area will be filled with water when it's all done. At the portal, there's a wall on the side that has been formed. This could be where guests will exit the land. Rockwork can also be seen inside the roller coaster track. This will be a family launch coaster. Lots of work is still being done over the load station, where we can now see roofing being placed over the wood frame that we've been watching take shape over the last few months. Also, more wood has been placed to extend the building as well. Here we can see a bunch of mesh work happening to theme the roller coaster, plus another frame structure that goes over the tracks. From what we can see here, it looks like this family coaster will be more than just track, with many themed elements around it. Over here, around the footers, we can see more work to theme the area. The gift shop can be seen here. This is next to the Great Hall restaurant and has now begun to get covered. Here's a different look at the Great Hall and the retail location. One of the other attractions in the land will be an interactive boat ride where you can get soaked if you're feeling too hot. It's rumored to be made by Mack Rides. The name Fire Drill has been trademarked and could be for this water attraction. Also, another new addition is this bridge that has been added next to the ride. Lots of theming has begun around the wall to the attraction. A bunch of scaffolding can be seen here to theme the walls of the boat ride. The theater attraction has now received part of its roof. This is rumored to be the untrainable stage show seen at Universal Beijing. The name, The Untrainable Dragon, was trademarked a few months ago by Universal. The building sat there with no roof for the longest time, so it's nice to see that it's now being covered. Work continues on the shop across from the Great Hall. This is believed to be a candy store. The name, How to Treat Your Dragon, has been trademarked by Universal, so this could be where they use that. According to the filing, this retail location will serve candy, chocolate, confections, baked goods, and ice cream, and some apparel. So it could be like the new shop Bake by Day at Universal Studios Florida, where they have merchandise as well as baked goods. Over here will be the kids' play area. Construction has continued in this area. You can see more of the structure has been built, as well as some metal framing on top of the wall for future theming. The other ride in the land will be a flying attraction where you can spin yourself around. The 2 platforms for the ride are here. You'll have some amazing views of the roller coaster as it goes by. Now we'll take a quick look at the progress happening on the 2 hotels outside of Epic Universe. The hotel that looks to be complete is believed to be called the Stella Nova. Work has continued on the pools outside. A metal pattern has been placed around the windows to this hotel. This will be the mounts for the color-changing paneling that will go on the outside of the hotel. And here we can see one of the color-changing elements for the exterior of the hotel. It will be very interesting to see how the finished product will look. The second hotel has been seeing lots of progress since the last time we looked at it. This one is believed to be named Universal Terra Nova Resort. Guest parking has been paved for the second resort. The hotel inside the theme park has been much slower on its progress, and in front of the hotel we can see a building that will be a restaurant. Well, that will do it for the latest construction at Epic Universe. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to get more updates, and if you want to see a more in-depth look at Super Nintendo World, where we compare it to Japan's version, then watch it here.